Hey everyone, welcome back to Tech News Now. Today we're diving into the world of Tesla. And, it's interesting because for years they were really the only name in the game when it came to electric vehicles.
Yeah.
But things are changing.
Yeah, they are. It's actually kind of amazing to see how quickly the EV landscape is evolving.
Right. Like it's not just about making cool electric cars anymore.
No, not at all. Tesla's facing challenges on multiple fronts.
Okay, so let's break that down a bit.
Well, for starters, there are the political headwinds, like the potential repeal of the $7,500 EV tax credit.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. I mean, it seems like that would hurt all EV makers. But then I saw Elon Musk saying that getting rid of it might actually help Tesla.
Right.
What's the logic there?
Well, Musk's argument is that Tesla is already profitable,
Okay.
unlike some of its competitors who are still relying on that credit.
I see.
To make the numbers work, he basically thinks Tesla can handle it, while others might struggle.
So he's playing the long game.
It seems that way, betting that Tesla's efficiency and scale will give them an edge in the long run.
It's a bold move for sure. But is it realistic?
Well, it's a really good question. Tesla's profit margins have been kind of all over the place lately.
Yeah.
And everyone's waiting to see what their next earnings report reveals.
Okay.
That's going to be a major indicator
Yeah.
of whether they can actually weather a potential loss of the tax credit.
Earnings report's always a nail biter. But, okay, let's say for argument's sake that Tesla can handle the tax credit situation.
Okay.
They still have to deal with the fact that the EV market is getting super crowded these days.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Cadillac's electric Lyriq is outselling. The Model X Hyundai is making some serious waves.
It's true.
Is Tesla's dominance actually slipping?
Well, the data suggests it is. Overall, EV sales growth is slowing down. And Tesla's sales actually dipped in 2023.
Wow.
For the first time ever, they hold less than 50% of the U.S. market share.
So the days of Tesla just cruising unchallenged are over.
It seems that way. Yeah, the landscape is definitely shifting.
Okay, so it's not a just buy Tesla stock and you're set situation anymore.
It's more complicated than that now.
That's a pretty big change. But hold on. There's another layer to this whole story, right? We can't talk about Tesla without talking about Elon Musk.
Right.
Love him or hate him, he's a force of nature, and his actions definitely have an impact on Tesla.
I think that's undeniable.
So how has all the, colorful stuff surrounding Musk affected the company?
Well, his actions, his tweets, his opinions, it's all shaped Tesla's brand image.
Oh, sure.
And that's something investors are watching very closely.
Right, because it's not just about the cars anymore. It's about the whole package.
Yeah.
So has all the, let's call it unconventional stuff surrounding Musk actually hurt Tesla's bottom line?
Well, Brand Finance reports that Tesla's brand value has dropped for 2 years straight.
Seriously?
Yeah, and they link that decline directly to Musk's behavior.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
They also point to the fact that some of Tesla's models are getting a little dated compared to the newer EVs hitting the market.
Yeah, some of their models haven't been updated in a while.
So it's a combination of things. On the one hand, you've got Musk's, shall we say, unique personality. And on the other, Tesla's facing some very real competitive pressure.
Exactly. And for some investors, Musk's behavior is creating a perception of risk.
How so?
It's everything from his outspoken political stances
Right.
to the headlines about his personal life. It all adds up.
So if you're thinking about investing in Tesla, it's not as straightforward as it used to be.
No, it's definitely more nuanced now. You have to factor in who's running the show, how the brand is perceived, and whether they can really stay ahead of the curve in such a fast-changing market.
Okay, so that's a lot to consider. And this leads to a really interesting question. Is Tesla really a tech company or just a car manufacturer?
That's a question a lot of people are asking.
Right, because a lot of their valuation hinges on this idea that they're more than just an automaker.
Exactly. They're selling this vision of the future with self-driving cars, robo-taxis,
Right.
all that futuristic stuff.
Yeah, the whole sci-fi dream. But how close are they really? I mean, I'm not seeing robo-taxis cruising around my neighborhood.
Well, the reality is that Tesla's full self-driving technology is still classified as Level 2 autonomy,
Level 2.
which basically means the car can help with some driving tasks, but a human driver still needs to be fully engaged.
Ah, so not quite the hands-free future we were promised.
Not yet.
Okay, so no robo-taxis in my driveway anytime soon. But didn't Musk make some pretty big promises about the Cybertruck turning into a robo-taxi, like it'd be cheaper than a regular taxi and all that?
He did. He's made a lot of promises about the future.
And how's that track record?
Well, if we're being honest, Musk has a bit of a pattern of overpromising and underdelivering.
Mm.
Remember back in 2019 when he said we'd have 1 million robotaxis on the road by the next year?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Well, it's 2025, and those robotaxis seem to be stuck in some kind of development purgatory.
Huh. Yeah, I think we've all been there waiting for some futuristic gadget or tech that never quite materializes the way it was hyped.
Exactly. Like those flying cars we were all promised as kids.
Right. Still waiting on those. And it's not just me saying this. Even the chairman of CATL, a major player in the EV battery world, has cautioned against taking Musk's timelines at face value.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he basically said, don't believe the hype.
That's pretty telling coming from someone in that position.
Right, so we've got potential political shifts that could shake up the whole market competition heating up like crazy, and a CEO who's known for making bold claims that don't always pan out. It's a lot to unpack.
It is. There are a lot of factors at play here.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder what the future holds for Tesla.
Definitely. We're going to delve deeper into that in the next part of our deep dive.
Awesome. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on where this is all headed.
Well, we've only just scratched the surface.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
So before the break, we were talking about how Tesla really needs to prove that they're more than just a car company.
Right. They need to show that they're actually a tech company leading the charge in innovation.
Exactly. And a big part of that is their self-driving technology,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's a huge part of the Tesla story.
Yeah. It is a huge part of the narrative.
This promise of a future
Huh.
where cars drive themselves and we can all, just kick back, relax.
Absolutely. But as we talked about earlier, the reality of self-driving technology is a little more complicated.
Yeah. It's not quite as simple as just flipping a switch and letting the car take over.
Right. Tesla's full self-driving is still at level 2 autonomy.
Level 2, what does that actually mean in practice?
So basically, it's more like a really advanced cruise control system.
Okay.
It can handle some tasks like staying in its lane and keeping a safe distance from other cars.
Gotcha.
But it still needs a human driver to be paying attention and ready to take control at any moment.
So we're not quite at that robotaxi future that Musk keeps talking about.
Not yet, at least. Remember when he said the Cybertruck would be this amazing robotaxi?
Oh, yeah, cheaper than a regular taxi and all that.
Another one of his bold predictions.
Right. And how often do those actually pan out?
Well, let's just say there's often a difference between what Musk promises and what Tesla actually delivers.
It's like he's always dangling this futuristic carrot in front of us.
And it always seems to be just out of reach.
Exactly. And I think investors are starting to notice that disconnect.
They're realizing that investing in Tesla is a bet on a future that's still pretty uncertain.
Yeah, it's not just about the cool electric cars anymore. It's about whether Tesla can actually back up the hype and become this game-changing tech company.
That's the core question, right? Can they really deliver on those big promises?
Because if they can't, if they stumble technologically,
then their sky-high valuation might start to crumble.
right, and they could end up as just another car company in a crowded market.
Exactly. So for our listeners out there who are trying to figure all this out,
Yeah, what should they be paying attention to in the coming months and years?
well, there are a few key things to watch. First, keep an eye on their progress in self-driving technology.
Okay, are they making real advancements? Are they getting closer to that level 3 or even level 4 autonomy?
Right, because so far those deadlines have been missed, and the delays have become kind of a pattern.
And investors don't like to see that.
No, they don't. Another big factor is how Tesla responds to the competition.
Because there are so many other companies jumping into the EV game now.
Oh, absolutely. From established automakers to new startups, everyone's trying to get a piece of the pie.
So Tesla can't just rest on their laurels. They need to keep innovating.
They do. They need to show that they can stay ahead of the pack.
It's not enough to just be the cool electric car company anymore.
Right. They need to prove that they have the technology to back it up.
And finally, we have to talk about Tesla's brand image.
Ah, yes. That's a big one.
Can they overcome all the controversies and negative press surrounding Elon Musk?
That's the question, because Musk's personality is so closely tied to the Tesla brand.
It's hard to separate the two.
And while his, bold vision and his showmanship have definitely attracted a lot of fans.
Oh, yeah, he's a master marketer.
He is, but his unpredictability and his tendency to, overpromise, that can also create a sense of risk for investors.
So it's a double-edged sword.
It really is. So the big question is, can Tesla navigate all these challenges?
Yeah, can they emerge as the leader in the future of transportation?
Or will they become just another car company struggling to keep up?
Those are the stakes, and we're going to explore those questions even further in the final part of our deep dive. Welcome back to Tech News Now. So we spent a lot of time talking about the challenges Tesla's facing. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about what the future might hold for them.
Okay. Yeah, let's get into that.
Let's imagine the best-case scenario for Tesla. What could really propel them to the next level?
Well, in the best case scenario, they actually deliver on all those big technological promises they've made.
Okay, so they finally cracked the code on full self-driving.
Exactly. Their robotaxi dreams become a reality.
Wow.
And they establish themselves as the leader in the autonomous vehicle market.
That would be huge.
It would be transformative. Think about it. Tesla wouldn't just be a car company anymore.
Yeah.
It'd be a transportation platform, a major player in how people and goods move around the world.
You look at a tech company, almost like Uber, but with self-driving cars.
Precisely. And that kind of vision that could really justify their current valuation and maybe even push their stock price even higher.
It's a compelling vision, for sure. But let's flip the script for a minute. What's the worst-case scenario for Tesla? What could lead to their downfall?
Well, in a worst-case scenario, they stumble technologically. They fail to deliver on those self-driving promises. Their competitors catch up and surpass them.
In terms of?
In terms of everything, vehicle quality innovation. And their brand image continues to take hits from all the controversies surrounding Elon Musk.
So they basically become just another car company.
Yeah, struggling to compete in a crowded market.
And I imagine their stock price would take a major hit.
Absolutely. Investors would lose faith in their ability to be the disruptor they once were.
So Tesla's future is really riding on their ability to innovate and deliver on those big promises.
It is. There's a lot at stake here.
No pressure. Yeah. But what does all this mean for our listeners out there who are trying to understand the EV market as a whole?
Right. What does it mean for investors?
Yeah. Should they be buying Tesla stock, shorting it, or just staying away altogether?
That's the million-dollar question, and unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball.
You bet.
But I will say this investing in Tesla right now is inherently risky.
Okay.
It's a company with huge potential upside,
Right.
but also a lot of uncertainty. So if you're thinking about investing, you need to have a high tolerance for risk.
And probably a long-term investment horizon.
Exactly. Don't bet your rent money on Tesla stock.
Definitely not. But more broadly, I think it's important to remember that the EV revolution is much bigger than just Tesla.
It is. There are so many other companies and technologies emerging in this space.
And some of them are really exciting.
They are. So if you believe in the future of electric vehicles,
Yeah.
don't put all your eggs in one basket. Do your research, explore different options.
Bid the love.
Exactly. Diversify your investments, and remember that the world is moving towards electric transportation.
That's a great point, and it's something to be excited about.
It is. Tesla played a big role in making that happen.
For sure, they were the pioneers, but now there are lots of other players in the game.
And it'll be fascinating to see how it all unfolds in the coming years.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's a great place to wrap up our deep dive into the world of Tesla.
It has been a really interesting conversation.
It has. Thanks for joining me today.
My pleasure.
And thanks to all of you for listening to Tech News Now. We'll be back next week with another deep dive into the world of tech. So be sure to tune in. And in the meantime, keep those EVs charged and stay curious about the future.